So I went to the border. I met with the key hidden camera source that you'll be talking to after me, and began to talk to the boots on the ground. And I took some footage and began learning some more. There will be more videos in the future. The one thing that my group found for me when I was out on that east-west I-8 corridor in the Casa Grande sector that you saw where the guns and drugs were, this is where the drug loads are walked 80 miles over federal lands just about every day. They're picked up on different spots on the I-8. And I found these. Now, I don't think any of you probably want to touch these, but my group found these for me. I didn't know what they were, but I'm going to see if somebody knows what these are. Hold on one second here. Let me get them out of here. I wish I had hand sanitizer right now. You have no idea. Okay. Does anybody, I'm going to bring these back through here. Does anybody know what these are? Can you see what these are?
Shoe covers?
They're shoe covers.
Boot covers. Boot.
They're booties. They're drug courier booties. See these? See the bottoms of them? They're covered in carpet because one of the things that the Border Patrol is extremely good at is tracking shoes. And they know what shoes are made in Mexico, and they're extremely good at tracking. These in the hot desert, 80 miles up, they put these on so they can't be tracked. So we actually found 6 pairs of these. The group I was with was very surprised because they'd been out there about 2 weeks prior. These were brand new. There were 6 sets. And where they were is up on a plateau overlooking I-8. On the other side of the plateau is another series of mountains where you could see a series of watch posts that the drug cartel folks use. They put their watchmen up there. They watch for I-8, on I-8, east-west corridor for law enforcement activity. And when that law enforcement activity is not on the corridor, the guys come down and they drop the booties up there along with a whole lot of other trash as well. So this was my little show and tell. So anyway, the film says what it says, basically that it seems to us that the illegal activity in Arizona is getting more brazen and it's escalating. And it really seems like it's become almost a playground for smugglers of all kinds. So where does that leave us? And this is where I go into my policy mode as a former 9/11 Commission staffer, where we like to talk about recommendations. And trying to figure out where to go from here, I decided to do what always seems the best thing to do, which is look at history and look at your current problem and try to match it up and see what might work. And after looking at this a bit and thinking about this, because it does seem like an almost insurmountable problem when we see it, I have come to the conclusion that the solution is doable and that the federal lands can be kept under control, and we can do it by keeping environmental stewardship in tandem as well. The government just has to decide that it wants to do it. And so how do we do this, and what history are we looking at? Let's take a look at a completely out-of-control border sector of 4 to 5 years ago. According to the Border Patrol's own statistics, which I got off of Google. In January 2004, the Yuma sector borderlands owned by the Department of Interior and located in far western Arizona. These are the sand dunes that were used in Star Wars, if you remember. Far western Arizona, bordering on California, experienced a huge surge in illegal entries. There was no fence there. The agents were being assaulted with rocks and weapons daily, and they were outnumbered 50 to 1. In 2005, more than 2,700 load trucks full of aliens and illegal drugs were breaching that sector. Smugglers were leading masses through the desert, leaving sick and wounded to die, and they didn't stop for agents in hot pursuit, so there were a lot of deadly crashes as well. By 2005, 138,000 illegal aliens were apprehended, and the numbers were still increasing. Today, the Yuma sector is relatively clean to its past, and the Border Patrol can do its job. Apprehensions are down 94% to 8,500 in 2008. Why and how? In May 2006, President Bush announced Operation Jumpstart, deploying over 5,000 National Guard citizen soldiers and airmen to assist the Border Patrol in securing the border with Mexico. For the first time in 3 years, the numbers of illegal entries began to decrease. Let me quote directly from then-Governor Napolitano's 2006 Arizona Department of Emergency and Military Affairs annual report relating her successes as governor. And I quote, Operation Jumpstart, Arizona border. The Arizona National Guard, as well as other southwest border states, was tasked to support Operation Jumpstart in coordination with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and Customs and Border Protection. The Arizona National Guard is supporting CBP with up to 2,400 guardsmen to gain operational control of the border. Since July 2006, the Arizona Army National Guard has provided over 5,489 guardsmen to support missions along the international border with Mexico. The Arizona National Guard is in support of the Border Patrol sectors of Yuma and Tucson. The missions tasked to the National Guard soldiers and airmen include 1. Surveillance, 2. Camera operations, 3. Vehicle maintenance support, 4. Aviation support, 5. Border infrastructure and fencing, 6. Entry identification teams along the 389 miles of international border between Arizona and Mexico, end quote. According to the Border Patrol, in the first 6 months of Operation Jumpstart, Guard members did what then-Governor Napolitano had praised them for doing, but also helped the Border Patrol save lives of those left to die by smugglers, deal with crash sites where there had been high-speed chases of smugglers, as well as interdict illegal drugs. The guardsmen weren't just repairing fences, they weren't sitting in offices. They were boots on the ground, too. The administration's support in Washington and the National Guard's help on the ground between 2007 and 2008, unprecedented amounts of tactical infrastructure went up. In total, Yuma got about 126 miles of border fencing and barriers. Some were man-made, some were natural. In addition, 2 new Border Patrol stations went up in Yuma, a mobile surveillance sensor with ground radar as well they received, and all of this personnel and tactical infrastructure were backed up by, and this is really important, criminal prosecutions of illegal entrants known as Operation Streamline. With that backup in mind, that really helped curb the illegal activity in Yuma. Operation Stone Garden also worked in tandem with Jumpstart and Streamline. And Stone Garden funded localities to help assist border security as well, helping local Arizona law enforcement back up federal law enforcement when need be. I believe this is a story that should be listened and learned from. However, despite the Krentz death, despite the deputy sheriff shot in Pinal County, despite the threats to Nogales off-duty police by drug cartels and drug cartel feuding crossing the border into Arizona, even more exasperated than what Yuma was experienced 4 years ago, unfortunately, this administration does not yet seem interested in what history has taught us and about how to achieve border security. New fencing has been stopped, even though there is a 26-mile area between Naco and Nogales, which is pretty much wide open. Technology upgrades were stopped with no replacement. We still don't have a plan for the National Guard, and we learned the other day that there are supposed to be 524 Guard deployed to Arizona by August, 524. But we are told again and again they will not be boots on the ground as they were with Operation Jumpstart. The administration has outright said that they are not prosecuting illegal aliens for illegal entry, as they did with Streamline, unless they are previously known to be associated with violent crime. And we all know what this administration thinks of local Arizona law enforcement involved with federal immigration enforcement. So one little bright spot here, perhaps we will get some movement on the National Guard issue tomorrow. Senate Republican staff I spoke to yesterday are going to be briefed by the White House Department of Justice and Department of Homeland Security tomorrow on plans for the Guard. So if anybody gets any information on that and you want to relay it back to me, I'd be grateful. But let me conclude by saying that the federal lands should be the starting point, not the last point, for border enforcement, as Representative Bishop has so emphasized. We can make it so with American technology, American personnel, and American resolve. Thank you.